Hey, what's up everyone? Dragon back again with another edition of Fantasy Commentary. Today we are watching The Last Unicorn. Now, when you see the opening of the movie starting up on your screen, that is your cue to start listening to us. We're going to kick things off in 3, 2, 1. Hello!
Hi.
And welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Commentary. I almost said Kaiju Commentary, but this is in fact the Fantasy Commentary.
Fantasy!
We are watching The Last Unicorn. But because this is a fantasy commentary, not a kaiju commentary, these unicorns will be normal size, not giants. So, in case you were wondering. I know! Darn! Giant hoof comes down. So this is one of the rare cases where you have seen this movie and I have not.
I swear we've watched this together.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Because
I
the
don't
music
know.
of America.
The music of... I remember the trailer said that, and featuring the music of America.
I don't know. I swear we watched it, but maybe not.
I know I've seen like visual like pictures and like kind of the visual iconography from this film, but I don't believe I'd actually ever watched it, which is weird because it came around the same time as the Flight of Dragons, and apparently that is the way more obscure one. Yet that was the one I saw as a kid.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah,
before.
well, a lot of people haven't. Yet this film is the one people know more, and I've never seen it. Is this the studio that did the
Hobbit?
The Hobbit and
I wonder, yeah. It looks... I think it might be.
The animation looks a little bit better, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more fluid.
Well, because he basically looks like fucking Gandalf, just
Gandalf.
tanner and with dark hair.
Gandalf the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
That would have been Gandalf as a kid. Just not gray. He could be one of the blue Ishtadi. This is teenage Gandalf with Robin Hood. I love the backgrounds here, though. I love how everything... This makes you think a little of Don Bluth in the sense that the world is like... has like
reminds me a lot.
hyper realistic colors.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Sleeping Beauty. I forgot the woman's name who did the backgrounds for that, but it looks like that to me.
And so starts her downward spiral to depression.
Depression mode engage.
You see her getting drunk, getting into bar fights, doing lines of cocaine.
Jesus Christ.
All because she overheard one day, Gandalf in the woods. Are we getting some music of America? Yes! This is what we all came for, folks. Yeah, no, see, I like when... Especially again in fantasy, when they make everything look like it looks like our world, but it's impossibly beautiful.
Yeah.
Like everything just it's what I call the fantasy filter.
Yeah.
Again, Don Bluth always does that. Well, he would do that later on. He did that with he had a much more darker gothic aesthetic, but where the world didn't just look normal, just plain blue skies, plain green tree. Everything had this weird kind of quality to it that was like hyper reality. No, I'm liking this so far. I'm kind of bummed that I missed this. Again, I might have seen bits and pieces of it as a kid.
I swear we watched it. Maybe
we talked about it because I remember you were like shocked when you found out that there was like something like this from the 80s that I hadn't seen, and you were like, "What?" And I was just
like when you told me you never saw fucking Lady Hawk.
I know, and I was just like, and it's got Matthew
Jeff Bridges.
Yep.
Mia Farrow.
And I'm just surprised you put Jeff Bridges. I mean, I'm not saying, oh my god, I'm a
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges fanboy or anything. But I like
sad squirrel.
But I like him as an actor, and I'm familiar with his career, so I'm kind
Yeah.
of surprised that just knowing about him, this movie didn't pop up on my radar.
Angela Lansbury. Why does that name look familiar?
That's like Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, and
Christopher Lee. Man, Christopher Lee is like, oh my god, he was just like fantasy OG.
Yeah.
Like he was to the fantasy genre, just like. I mean, he was like gangster to the fullest when it came to fantasy. It's like he did not mess around. I gotta say, I like the music in here better than it was like in the like the Return of the
Songs
King.
performed by America.
America. Okay, is that a band? Was there
It must be.
band named America? Because I'm like,
Because I thought it was when the commercial always said "Music of America," and I just thought it was like the whole thing. But I guess it's just America.
There must be a band called America, because we always make fun of that. Like, wow, this movie's like super patriotic. It's like, it's an American film. Who does the music? America.
America.
Come to find out, it's like some,
They're a rock band, British American rock band formed in London in
I was
1920.
just gonna make the joke. Watch, they're from like the UK. I was just gonna make a joke saying that. It's so funny.
That's funny.
I always thought the trailer was just being ultra patriotic for no goddamn
it says
good
years
reason.
active, 1970 to present, so apparently they're still doing shit.
Hey, as long as the stripes on our flag remain red and true,
Wow.
so will the music of America.
Evil. Those bunnies had red eyes. Get clear eye. Don't sue me.
I was gonna say, don't say that. We're not clear for that. That reference is really expensive. We can't afford it.
We're not clear for that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do men know with their penises? I mean, sure, I've never seen any other universe except for that field littered with the bodies of my kind, but that doesn't mean anything. And ever. It's always kind of interesting when they used to do this kind of thing, because sometimes the animals, like, they do like the lip flaps where they speak, or they kind of do like the ethereal thing where it's like, I think for a unicorn it works. A unicorn is very magical and pristine, and you don't want to enter
Butterfly singing.
that. You don't want it to look like Mr. Ed.
Oh Jesus! I forgot about him.
But the insects will sing.
So he was a singer.
Oh wait, she's moving her lips there too. Oh, so I guess before she was just talking in her head. Never mind.
You mean thinking?
Or thinking. Well, yeah, talking in her head, thinking like.
She was just talking in her head.
I guess she is
sound
like
crazy.
Mr. Ed. I know. Yeah, no, the fluidity of the animation here is really good. Like, if it is the same studio here, I'll look it up right now. You can definitely tell they've either upped the budget or just got a lot better at their animation technique. Because it looks significantly better. Even the rendering and the color use, like, it's a lot of...
Yeah. Pickle-faced? I'd be
Consumptive.
offended by that. Say my name, say my name.
Don't you dare. No, it's a different studio. Looks like it. Yeah. Then again, it could be one of those things too where, oh no, Topcraft. Yep. So okay, it is the same studio, or at least they were involved with it. Okay. Again, it's just interesting the thing in a time in America when Japanese culture wasn't really prevalent like it is now. Like anime was not what it is here. It was Europe was getting a lot of anime, especially places like France, but there was so much stuff that was actually done in Japan that we as Americans at the time did not know was Japanese. You know what I mean? And looking back, you realize, wow, some of these animated, fantasy films from this time period were done in Japan. And a lot of animation in America was even outsourced to Japanese companies, and their job was to kind of make it look Western as opposed to animated in their style. So there was a lot of stuff we saw animated from Japan that we didn't realize was done over there. And it wasn't. And the few animes that actually came over here, like the Little Bits and the Newsies or Noozles, whatever it was, one of the koala bears.
Now he's Captain Crunch.
Oh my God, he does like it. He's gonna start selling us cereal. Look at her. She does not give a shit. She's like, okay. She kind of reminds me like she's drawn in the way like you look like a gem in the holograms. We done everything. She looks fabulous. She isn't just like a horse with a horn.
Oh, you just wait. You just wait, son.
Oh, I know, but like, she looks like she's about ready to go down the catwalk. Like, look at her. Look how fat. Every time she like turns her head, like her mane looks like it's gonna be like a freaking shampoo commercial.
You asshole.
Look at the way she walks. She's so Look at her. Damn. That looks like a Don Bluth movie right there. That red background.
It gives you wings.
But again, you look at this point. This was around the time when Disney was kind of in their slump or their lull, so to speak, in terms of their this is like pre-Disney Renaissance. A few years before, like The Little Mermaid would come out. So it's interesting because you look at like one of the things Don Bluth was frustrated with, and why he and a few of the other animators left, because they wanted to really push the medium of animation and tried new things, and there was a lot of things that Disney just didn't want to do. They wanted to go cheaper and very just basic. So when you see stuff like this, I think you can kind of understand their frustration, because they were, involved with arguably the largest and most successful animation studio in the world, yet they were being forced to play it super safe and super cheap, where then they were seeing other animation studios that because they didn't have to live up to this, pedigree of being Disney, they were just kind of free to be more experimental and weird and out there and just try different things. So you look at a movie like this, and it's a lot more artsy, it's more, again, a lot more experimentation, it's a lot more it's different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements that you wouldn't think of traditional, like stuff like this. It's almost psychedelic, you know what I mean? Like
This was made in the 70s, right?
Well, 82, but 82. Close enough.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It almost feels like a weird trip, and that to me, it like you look at something like The Dark Crystal, live action, but it just feels like a big acid trip.
That was an angry looking bear.
So I kind of feel like when Don Bluth was seeing stuff like this, and he was thinking, like, this is the kind of stuff we should be doing. This is pushing the medium beyond what we're doing. We're just literally just cranking out like fast food animation, and these guys are just like, they may not have the same budget as us, but what they're producing on screen is visually more memorable than anything we're doing. So when he finally broke from Disney and formed his own company, you saw like the look of his, like, look at those backgrounds, that's gorgeous. But yeah, you saw that right away. His movies were wild and avant-garde and different and interesting. That's why I kind of say this makes me think of Don Bluth, but this would predate his...
You guys can't tell he's obsessed with Don Bluth.
Well, because Don Bluth really pushed the medium. So I'm just saying, I like animation that looks like this more.
Yeah.
So...
That was the long way of saying it.
Hey, we got an hour and a half to go, so...
Listen. Oh yeah, I forgot. Normal people can't see the horn.
So they've turned them, it's just a horse. But yeah, no. So I don't know. I think this was like the kind of stuff that, in a weird way, was pushing the industry to like really like do new things. I like how she's such a prima donna.
Yeah.
She's such a spoiled prince. Like she's like, what, me? How dare you? Do I look like a basic bitch?
She gores him. Yeah.
Like, how dare you, sir? Oh, I never. Yeah, no, the texturing in this movie is really good. Like this studio, like from what I can say, I think they partnered with other people. That it wasn't just. It wasn't just Topcraft. It was Rankin and Bass Productions, ITC Entertainment. So you can definitely see this film has a much larger budget than The Hobbit and The Return of the King, but it still has that aesthetic style.
Oh man, here we go.
It's just weird they call themselves America.
I know.
Has that folky kind of singer-songwriter thing going on. It works for this, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
How old were you when you first saw this?
I was in college, actually. I didn't see it as a kid.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I thought you had seen it when you were younger.
I knew about it. I used to be obsessed with horses, and therefore unicorns and
Of course, you were a girl once.
As a young child. So, I remember seeing pictures of it, so I knew about it, but until I went to college and really had full access to the internet, because I didn't get real internet till I was in 12th grade. Pity me, people.
That's
I missed on it so much.
That's university to some of you out there who may be listening.
But yeah, so I finally watched it when I was in college.
Again, I'd always heard the name The Last Unicorn, and I'd seen like pictures of the unicorn, and it might have been one of those things where I thought I had seen it, just because it's something I always heard the name, and I always saw like in that art style, but I might have been just confusing with like the Hobbit movie and all that, just because it has that look.
Yeah.
So when you showed me the trailer, I was like, yeah, I don't remember this one. So weirdly enough, it's just one of those ones that, unlike Lady Hawk, I knew. Oh, look at that gun, it's beautiful.
I know the colors.
I know.
The colors are really nice.
But like, yeah, unlike Lady Hawk, where I never fucking heard of that movie.
I only saw that because I saw it at the public library.
Yeah.
Do they even have those still?
But yeah, so I had heard of The Last Unicorn, and I think just assumed that I had seen it once upon a time.
Mommy Fortuna's what is that? Mystic Mark.
Fortunes, I think.
She's terrifying looking.
That's kind of a trip, just driving the side of the road. There's a unicorn sleeping.
Midnight Carnival.
Yeah, no, the character models don't look that much different than the previous film. They move with a bit more fluidity, but the backgrounds in this are amazing. Look at that hat, though, man.
I know.
She's got like half
It's
a dead tree on
basically
there.
A fucking branch.
No, again, I like I like how you can see like almost like the brushstrokes on the sky too.
Yeah.
Like you can see the texture of the painting itself. I know I've probably said this before, but I would really hope that someone managed to preserve these animation cells somewhere.
I don't know.
Did they put another horn on her?
I think it was like a binding or something. You know this is based on a book too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. It's kind of funny because you kind of wonder if back in the day they probably did shit like this too, because like the common folks in regions would never even leave the immediate vicinity. So for them, they would not know what anything looks like. Basically, I looked at some old pictures of what they thought elephants looked like,
Yeah.
and it was literally like, what the? They look like Dr. Seuss characters, basically.
Yeah. Oh, she put a fake horn on it. That is what she did.
Oh yeah, because the average person wouldn't be able to see the real one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they're showing, what they were trying to promote them at, but now we're seeing what they really are.
Yeah.
So she was like doing that, so it's like an illusionary spell, basically.
I guess, yeah.
That's clever. So he knew then she was
Yeah.
really.
Schmendrick.
How old is the book for this?
I don't remember. Let me look.
Yeah. Honestly, that might even be what I know The Last Unicorn more from, was hearing about the book itself as opposed to this.
1968.
I was thinking it was older for some reason.
Yeah, I thought it was older too, actually, but.
So what is now, do unicorns' powers vary in mythology? I was trying to remember. Like, they're always supposed to be like represent like purity, right?
Huh?
Like unicorns in mythology, they're supposed to be like the purest of things, right? They represent
Yeah.
purity.
I mean, again, it's there's been so many different things for unicorns.
Oh,
too,
I know
so-
that it varies from place to place, but as a whole, they're always like these kind of enchanted creatures, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like something. I mean, there's some that are like, oh, only a pure virgin can find a unicorn.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I don't know.
That lighting effect has done really well.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds dumb, but I figured if this movie was made today like this, they would have not put breasts on that thing.
I was thinking that too. I mean, normally real harpies are usually shown with them.
Well, harpies usually have a more human form up top, right? Isn't
Not always.
Or is that like something that's done more now? Because that's usually
I
how
think that's more now.
Because normally I've always seen them where they have like the bird lower body kind of, and it goes into like a human torso, like a woman
a lot of the older ones, it's literally more of a human face
on a
and,
bird's
like,
body.
breasts on a bird's body. Some of them, it's more like a torso with a bird body. I mean, it really just depends. There's been a lot of different depictions.
Yeah, it seems like now they give them.
Yeah,
more
usually
like
now more it's.
it's more human, basically, with like bird wings and bird legs.
Mm-hmm.
I like how wise she is too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of interesting how she's basically, if you really think about it, like with her kind of power, like basically being used to do like essentially like the equivalent of like kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
That for her it is. We would be impressed by it, but like for someone who comes from a culture of like magic users, this would be just like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like too how she wanted them to free the harpy.
Yeah.
Are harpies usually evil, or is it kind of
I
like
think what's the word?
aggressive towards?
Yeah, they're
people?
a little more towards being bad than good, I guess.
But I like it that for her, she still doesn't want her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because again, it's like everything else isn't real. This guy.
It's kind of interesting too. It seems like this is a world almost like now, or a period of time where like magic is kind of dying. A lot of fantasy movies do that too. It always kind of takes place kind of like in the tail end when like the world is kind of shifting into like what we would think of the real world. You know what I mean? Where like magical things are kind of dying off. Oh. Here's a Jeff Goldblum thing kind of going on.
Yeah.
A little kind of neurotic kind of makes me think of Jeff Goldblum as a Brundle from The Fly a little bit. Ooh, ow. Dummy. Yeah, seriously, I'm getting a total Jeff Goldblum vibe from this. I love him. Oh, Jesus.
You dummy.
Can she not just break out of there at some point? Like, I feel like she's still a horse or a big horse-like thing. If she keeps kicking at that door, it's bound to give.
I'm like, dude, if you just had that to begin with. Yeah, that would have been my first thing.
I know. Yeah, before I start casting spells and using up all my MP, let me just try a key. Oh, jeez.
I would have just used some of that funky magic.
Oh, this is my kind of wizard. Get his hands dirty.
Even though it's kind of funny. It's like, once she's out, she could let him go, but...
Well, I think the cage was enchanted, so like I get
it might have been, yeah.
I get a thing as like a null magic effect where it's like, does she still have the fake horn on her?
No.
Oh, that might have been it. It's probably because he removed that. Because I would imagine, yeah, that binds her magic.
These poor animals look so sad.
I know. Yeah, I think that's what it was. That bound her magic, so she couldn't use. Ow. Yeah, no, I like this magician here. He gets his hands dirty.
See, she got 3 titties.
Yeah, I think it's one thing she's torn. It's like,
yeah,
she knows ultimately it's wrong to cage her, basically.
Well, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Even though she's not that big, I'm like, if I was her, I would not be going after like something the size of a horse.
Yeah.
Especially when she's got magical abilities. Yeah.
She's like, don't you mess with me.
Nope, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. It's like she was like, come at me, bro.
So, did she want to die, or?
I don't fucking know, man. That little lady was crazy. It's like she's gaining her magic from eating or something.
Is she, though? That's what I'm wondering.
Know.
Huh. That's interesting. I'm wondering if that's kind of an interesting concept. I'm wondering if it's this idea that because they're immortal, the world seems almost stationary to them.
Maybe.
because again, everything is just everything just blends into the background because they don't really see the passage of time. So if you run, it kind of like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me, like, pulling shit out of my ass, of course. But I just thought that's an interesting quality. Like, don't run from anything immortal attached to their attention, because for them, immortals are maybe like always in a kind of in a daze, because there's just no, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is that they just live on forever, and everything just kind of goes by the wayside to them. So you have to be more dramatic to kind of get them to notice you. So that's kind of interesting. So if you just walk by something immortal, because it's been around for so long, what are you to it? It might not even pay attention to you, because it's gotten so accustomed to just the general day to day of all things. Like, what?
Ouch. Thanks for saying it out loud to confirm that I'm a failure. It's great.
Again, I like how kind of sassy she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's not like, oh, it's my first time out in the world, I know nothing. I like how she knows, like, yeah, I'm a fucking unicorn. I know I'm pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I've been around too long not to know that I'm awesome.
Sorry, I touched you.
I don't know how I feel about this weird sexual tension between guy and horse here. I'm just kind of like, I mean, to our eyes, she's drawn very pretty, but to his, this was just literally like a white horse with a horn, right? Like,
yeah.
And he's not even seeing the horn, right?
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
He sees her as a...
So, but he's literally just seeing a horse. So I'm kind of like, don't get too familiar, homie.
I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
Well, that's good. Although if this came out now, everyone would be like, I was going to say they'd be shipping them on Tumblr, but I guess not anymore. That's why Tumblr changed their policy so people wouldn't ship men and horses together anymore. Exactly. That's why they changed their policy. They came across too many of those kinds of posts. They're like, oh no. Guys, we got to make a change. There's too many equestrians on here.
Well, it's funny too. I like that they actually differentiate, because look at how the horses here are drawn.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then her.
Again, yeah, because this legit looks like a horse, where she's. Mm-hmm. But again, is she drawn that way to look because she's actually a lot more beautiful, or
I think so.
Or is it just for our eyes to give her more characterization?
Probably a little of both.
Because she's actually sentient, where the horses are just beasts, basically. So I think they draw her with like more intelligence in her face to show like she's a thinking, reasoning
not just that,
creature.
but I meant even like the way the bodies are drawn. They made the horses a lot more muscular, where she's very slender, and obviously she's got more of the goat tail instead of the.
Yeah, well, her body's meant to be more beautiful and majestic than practical. These literally look like biological animals.
Yeah.
They look okay. They evolve to do what they do because
I
they're.
think he's got a spoon in his hat, or is that like a weird pipe? I can't tell.
I can't tell. Check what now?
Jack Jingly.
Is that a stage name? That horse. We all saw it.
Strange expression.
His horse like Jack Jingly. That's your name. There's a lot of stocky dudes in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that means what to us?
She's got such crazy hair.
I know. Oh, what? They have tacos?
I guess. A fucking taco?
Have a taco. Like, wait, whoa. You know, the magical horse did
Or
not.
wait, I think he. Okay, so just to clarify, we're watching with subtitles because it's easier sometimes, so we don't miss stuff when we're talking. And I'm thinking they put taco as in TACO, but I think what he was saying, like have a taco, like TALK.
Oh,
talk.
like a
Go ahead
chat?
and- yeah. So, but I think the way they subtitled it was
Was
just fucking
okay.
taco. 'Cause
I was
really
like,
confused.
I mean, it's a weird way of saying taco, but I was like, wait, have a taco?
Yeah.
What?
And that must be what it is.
Okay, because that literally took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, not the fucking harpy, not the goddamn magical horse
Yeah.
with the magical horn, not this goddamn sorceress or like, you know, or the bumfuck magician here. No. The taco took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
All the shit I was down for. Here,
Well-
have a taco. Hold up. What? Swear to God, if he offers him a quesadilla, I'm turning this off. Like, no, stop it. Stop it. You're asking for me to buy into too much here. Oh, hi. Look at that trim of that dress.
I know. Fancy.
I know. I love how, so yeah, this must be our world then for sure, because again, they have the legend of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I like how even in
That
this,
guy might have a taco.
I love how even in this this world, I like something like that, like Robin Hood is even a myth here in a world where they have magical beings.
Yeah. He looks like Squidward.
Yeah, but didn't they see him just pass right through though?
I know.
That's kind of a dick. Was it him who did that, or was it the unicorn?
She helped. Yeah, she's not very clever.
That's kind of a dick move on his point.
Yeah.
I'm like, the guy was really nice to you. I mean, he was offering you tacos, and like, you just fucking
Yeah.
dicked him over. Like,
I like how they tied him facing the tree. He doesn't even. It looks like a butt.
I mean, I guess you could say they're showing their true colors, but on the flip side, like,
I mean, he kind of dicked them.
yeah, you gotta push them. I'm like, okay, well, you literally got rid of my compatriots, and I have no way to do what I've been doing, so then it's fuck you. I'm gonna just basically sell you. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad for him, but I kind of don't. I mean, they were nice. It's not like they took him hostage first. They were the guy let you come eat.
Oh,
Whoa.
their breasts.
Oh.
I guess it wasn't a butt. Yikes. He's gonna die by being... But my question is... She also kind of looks like a penis right here, so I'm sorry for that.
I mean, it's something for everyone, I guess. I
But,
mean, no matter what you're into, you're gonna walk away happy.
But yeah, I'm like, does she still have barky texture? Because that would be so painful.
Oh.
Oh, no.
That was a Bill Murray line right there, if I ever heard it. Again, kids movie. It's a movie for kids,
Yeah.
guy. I love it. There's a guy who's got a crush on a horse,
Pussy.
and he's getting molested by a bodacious tree. Like, you don't see this shit. This is my Don Bluth left Disney. He's like, this is the kind of shit I want to do, goddammit. Disney's never gonna let a guy...
No.
It's like, oh, he's like, why'd you cock block me? I was totally getting somewhere with her, bro.
Gross.
What's grosser, him getting with the unicorn or the tree?
Both.
Yeah. You couldn't hold it very long, could you there, buddy? That true magic. You were a true magician for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be like they would come to them, the
I
unicorns?
think so, yeah. Well, again, that's what I was saying. Like, young virgins are supposed to be the ones that the unicorns appear to.
Mm. Oh, is that why she's saying her life is what it is now? Because
Possibly, yeah.
it's kind of sad. It's almost like because of, you know, she was maybe supposed to be somebody else, and because a unicorn never appeared to her, like her life never panned out, I guess.
Maybe.
How old is she supposed to be?
Well, she said 20 years ago, 10 years ago. She's at least in her 30s, if not later.
Again, this group here, it's interesting because it's not cliche. Like the beautiful heroine is a unicorn. It's not. It's a non anthropomorphic creature. You have an older woman and an awkward guy. Like Jeff Bridges is like the hunky guy, right? He's gonna come along here.
He's Prince Lear, I think.
Yeah. He's like the only one who's like your cliche party member, where he's like the dashing, strong,
Yeah. Like,
Anglo-European.
someone hasn't seen this movie before and clearly doesn't know much about it. So.
I told you I'd never seen this movie. You're the one who insisting that I had.
You did, but I guess not. 'Cause
No.
you're a terrible person.
Believe me, I was. Oh, that's just awesome. I want that to be our summer home. That is so cool. See, yeah, okay. I know I keep saying, look these backgrounds right here. This literally looks like The Land Before Time. If you watched the first Land Before Time, the one that Don Bluth himself did, look at the backgrounds, the way he designs everything. This literally looks like scene. Yeah, I get the sense that. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Again, Don Bluth was heavily influenced by this kind of stuff because his stuff looks like this, but darker and even scarier. Like Don Bluth looked at this and was like, "This is good. More." Oh, look at the detail on that. Yeah, no, that is. Again, I love the texture of it. Like, even though it's animated and it's not animated to look photorealistic, it feels like you could reach out and touch the environments, the background. Like,
yeah.
yeah, no, believe me, like, I was as shocked as anyone when I realized I had never seen this movie. Again, I think because I'd seen pictures from it and knew the name in my head, and it looked like other things that I had seen. I think I just in my head just connected the dots and just said, "Oh yeah, I think I've seen that." But yeah, no, I don't remember any of this.
I guess I didn't. Again, I swear we watched it, but
No,
it's not,
I think we had talked about watching it together and just didn't. Because again, I had only seen the last unicorn or the Flight of Dragons once in the '80s.
Yeah.
And I remember that movie. I remember watching that movie. So if I had seen this movie at any point, I would have remembered it too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm already liking this movie better.
Yeah. No, it's a great movie.
I mean, conceptually, Flight of the Dragons sounds cooler for what it is, but I don't know. I'm feeling this.
No,
I like this a lot.
This movie's, I don't know.
But it's the same studio.
Oh, it is?
Topcraft, yeah.
That's
They made
funny.
both of these. I mean, this one is Topcraft in conjunction with other studios, but it's their art style, and they came out the same year. So it's very interesting that all the big fantasy animated films of the late '70s and early '80s, it was that studio.
Mm-hmm.
That looks so cool.
Yeah. Also terrifying.
Well, yeah.
For her.
Yeah, no, I noticed, the movement is fluid. It's not jerky at all. Like, yeah, no, it's almost like rotoscope movement almost. Where it has that nice fluid texture. It doesn't have that jerkiness.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day before they did digital animation, this is like when they wanted to go really fluid, they animated stuff like this. To see movement of this quality, that you could tell this had a high production budget.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Actually, I can look it up right now.
Here we go.
Yeah, no, there was I'm reading more about So yeah, Topcraft. I mean, movies like this is the reason why Hayao Miyazaki hired this studio to do Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. And basically, the majority of the people who worked at this studio left to form, Ghibli with his company. So it's not surprising when you see this level of quality.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting because if you look at like Miyazaki's films, they're a lot brighter. So it seems like this darker aesthetic was a much more Western thing.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, because usually, this is again. Again, I like the character models more in Miyazaki's movie. It's a bit more anime, which is more my thing, obviously, and yours too. But I like this aesthetic in fantasy. Oh, that's right. She can turn into a woman too, right?
She got turned into one.
Oh, so yeah.
He did that.
The bull?
No, he did to make the bull stop chasing her.
Oh, to make his lustings okay.
Yeah.
Magic! That only lasts a minute. So this would be true polymorph, right?
Right?
Look, she has like a big busted zit on her forehead, though.
Yeah.
I know it's the unicorn, the horn, but then again, if you turn into a woman, why would she have a mark of a unicorn?
Well, remember, even as a unicorn, she had that mark on the outside of her horn, but it was slightly purple.
So is it one of those things where...
I think it's just supposed to be more...
So it's like her physical form is that of a human, but like her spirit in essence is still like that of a unicorn.
Yeah.
So would she still have the power of a unicorn?
You'll see. You'll see.
Again, it's so strange having you seen this movie and I haven't. Like you just say it was the other way around if one of us hasn't seen something. And I like that. I feel like it's like a Disney movie. Just be the magical moment. Oh, she's like a human now. Now they can get married and live happily ever after. And I like for her, she realized that no, human beings suck. A unicorn is such an amazing thing that for you to turn, and for her again, I think again a lot of like Disney films, they always make it look like these other beings that they still think being a human is better. Like Ariel, like she gave up being a mermaid to be, Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like, to him, this is like the image of beauty because he's a human being. To her, it's like, that'd be like if someone turned you into the most beautiful horse ever. Yeah, it's a beautiful horse, but you're not a horse. You're a human being. You know what I mean? That's not you. So I love how here she's saying, like, you didn't really save me because if it's death or forever, looking in the mirror and seeing something that's not me, what's the point of living?
Yeah. Well, and again, it's like she was immortal before, so now that she's trapped in a mortal body.
She's like, now I am going to die, but now I'm going to die as something unfamiliar to me, which I dig that.
Yeah.
It's like we love cats, and we always said we would love to have a beautiful Maine Coon one day because they're the most elegant looking cats in the world. Doesn't mean I want to turn into a Maine Coon. It doesn't mean if I got turned into like a Maine Coon, I think, oh my god, my life is great now. I'd be like, no. Yeah, you tell him.
I guess I'll let you on then.
Boy, he's like, oh man, okay, he sure told me. I guess I'll let him go.
I like how they showed that, was she thinking of jumping off and killing herself?
But see, that's my point. Stuff like that, for her, this is hell. This is a living hell to her.
She even said, I wish she let
exactly
the bull take me or the harpy take me.
I love that this isn't like, oh, look, now she can have
something wonderful and magical.
It's like, no, to her, she's been cursed. It's like if you got turned into an animal as a curse. It's like you wouldn't want to be the animal. You'd want to be what you're supposed to be. Oh, that's rough, bud.
Jeff.
What's up?
It's Jeff.
Jeff Bridges. That's what we gotta say Jeff Bridges' name for me. What was that one song? They're like, Jeff Bridges!
Oh, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
It was like that thing. Oh, it's that guy used to do that thing with like movie trailers where he would like sing a song through the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the Tron Legacy one. And when Jeff Bridges opened his eyes, you just heard Jeff Bridges! The balls.
He's terrifying.
Tough crowd.
Marie Kondo got to him. Nothing sparked joy in his life.
Wow.
If you guys haven't seen that meme or seen Tidying Up with Marie Kondo,
Is that a
Netflix,
meme now?
Yeah, it's a meme now.
So like whenever like someone looks like they're just unhappy, it's like
yeah, I'll show you after. It's fine.
just amazing how time, like this movie from 1982, has traversed the oceans of time to become a meme for a show that's on Netflix in like 2019.
Oh man.
Oh wow, some things are truly timeless.
Hell yeah.
Fucking children's birthday party looking wizard motherfucker. Oh shit. God. It's this magical ability like sarcasm. I cast belittle upon thee.
Oh. That's
Oh,
rough.
that's Christopher Lee. Not this guy, but the king.
Yeah, the king is.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it. I forgot. I just remember now. Oh, yeah, Christopher Lee's in this movie. Oh, yeah, it is Christopher Lee. He had such a great voice. And you think how old he was. I always feel like, oh, it's sad that he died, but he was like almost 100, right, when he died? I mean, Christopher Lee was like fighting Nazis in World War II.
Super old.
Yeah. Christopher Lee was like a legit wizard at that point when he died. I think he had lived so long and had done so many fantasy films that he had just ascended to like wizardhood.
Yes. That's so funny. I'll write you a reference. Like, it's kind of a modern...
Yeah, I know. Well, it's interesting because, again, they've already kind of showed, even with the witch, that, like, magic is, like, losing its sway in the world. So
Yeah.
now people who once would have been, like, the servants of kings and great wizards and sorcerers, they're now basically just, like, a step above a court jester.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's like, okay, I'll give you a job reference so you can go do something. Like, they're no longer held in high esteem anymore. I think it's really, really interesting. Huh, that's interesting. Why is he zig-hang at them? For once you're right, fuck you too, Dad. Like,
So creepy.
present yourselves before me, so I may gaze upon you for a while.
I guess you sparked joy for now.
The next 20 of the minutes of the movie is this awkward moment. They're just standing there. He's just sitting on his chair, resting his head on his hand, just staring at him, you know, for a while. It's like, no. The way they draw them, it makes me think of kind of like Galaxy Expressway.
Yeah.
The very kind of long, lanky, lean frames, which again would have been around the same time period. The
Yeah,
same
for
decade.
sure. That's very much how she looks.
Yeah. Again, just with more Western aesthetic to the way
Yeah.
she's drawn. But it's almost like the Western version of how they drew those characters. But it's still very similar.
I mean, honestly, except for her nose, the way it's drawn, she looks...
Yeah, because they did the
Yeah.
very high bridge of the nose, the long, straight bridge.
Oh, that's that shiny... Well, it was a shiny
It
plate.
was a shiny.
That cat has an eye patch because it's badass.
That cat looks like a Bond
I
villain.
got a fucking peg leg! Oh shit, I forgot.
That cat is a Bond villain. That cat is going to have James Bond strapped to like a chair with like a laser beam pointing at his head, and he's going to tell James Bond his entire master plan, giving Bond the opportunity to escape.
Whales.
Oh, the irony. I'm sure this was not done by accident.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not aware, the story of unicorns' horns were they would find these horns washed up on the shore, and they believed them to be the fallen horns of unicorns. They were just narwhal horns. That's why.
Yeah. Narwhal.
Narwhal. We can afford that one, right? That's.
I don't know. We can't afford anything, guys.
Don't
Support
sue us,
on
okay?
Patreon.
If you get mad, just let us know, and we'll plug your shit. How's that?
With a unicorn horn.
With a unicorn horn. Oh, wow.
Dragon, it's Shenron.
Dragon Ball Z! Oh, shit, I shouldn't say that either. God damn it! We're not even going to be able to put this goddamn commentary up. So, this is very interesting that it's a knight fighting an Eastern dragon,
yeah.
and the dragon's breathing fire because Eastern dragons didn't breathe fire.
Yeah.
They were the bringers of storms, basically.
Does this please you?
But that's the thing. Wouldn't she like be mad at him for this? Because it's like,
Oh, I think she's just mad in general. Oh, jeez. That's kind of scary.
yeah, no, it's interesting because unicorn or Eastern dragons were always generally like good.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of was the big dichotomy between Eastern and Western. They viewed them as like enchanted beings that brought good fortune, whereas in the West, dragons were like the devil.
Oh, Schmendrick.
So that's his thing. He just got horribly depressed and just sent everything away.
I think so. Because nothing sparked joy.
I'm like,
Except for his peg leg pirate cat, apparently.
did no one ever think that just get him a girlfriend? Like,
Well, I think that's why he's creepily looking at Amalthea. The unicorn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's not creeping out when he's a unicorn. So for better or for worse, he's a creepy old. At least he's not like hitting on her when she's like the actual horse,
Yeah.
like other guy. Besides slaughtering innocent creatures,
I know. How does the riddle become fatal?
unless it's like a cursed magic one, or it's just such a hard riddle you can't figure it out, and like you just throw yourself off a bridge. I don't know. How long are they supposed to have been here?
I don't know. I mean, if he's done all this shit, then it's been a while, I would say. I need a hero.
It's amazing to think how long Jeff Bridges has been doing movies. And it's weird to think, too, because...
Like how did you see that on the balcony? They had, like, the little unicorn
Oh.
right in front.
Oh, now she's singing?
It's better than America.
Well, I'm just like, is America like the Union? They're gonna be like, hold up, stop. That's cool. It's funny, I was reading and they were saying that the director never thought to make this a live action film because he thought, as a live action film you could never really, even though actually a lot of this
Yeah.
is with the exception of her as the unicorn and like a few of the fantasy creatures, I think you could have done this live action. I don't think it would have had the same hyper quality, look to it, but yeah, he thought you would never be able to capture it as live action. I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. You look at something like, but then again, a lot of the movies that, look at Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Came out and like,
It's a cloud of corn.
A claudicorn. That's the official
Yes.
scientific designation for it. The claudicorn.
Hell yeah.
It's a claudicological organism. But I obviously something like this now I feel would be a live action movie.
Mm.
I've always kind of thought it was surprising that they didn't go back and start remaking a lot of these older fantasy movies with like the success of like Harry Potter and even the Lord of the Rings and then the Hobbit. I think it's because maybe the Hobbit movies weren't as popular as the original like Lord of the Rings trilogy. Because I was thinking like you think of these movies like the Never, because I know for a while they were talking about doing the Never-Ending Story again and that fell through. The endless attempts to make a sequel to The Dark Crystal, which they're finally doing a prequel to. I want a hallway that looks like that.
I know.
I want this to be our home. I want to just live here.
It's a little, cobwebby.
I would clean it up. Wait, is the cat talking?
Hell yeah, it is.
A unicorn! This cat is awesome.
I know.
This is like my favorite character in this movie is this
He
cat.
does have a beard.
This cat is OG. Look at him.
It had a fucking earring. I didn't see that.
Look at him. This cat is badass.
That'd be
nice. I gotta say that to you sometime. That guy's gotta be my thing. That'd be nice. And then that would be like the last thing I would ever say that's about to, because you'd be like, we're not doing that again. Like, I don't know what the hell this cat is talking about, but it's awesome to me.
I know. I'm a motherfucking parrot cat.
That's funny. You old son of a bitch.
He just moves his peg leg, takes his other leg off.
Just a gentleman.
Oh, God!
He just plays up for sympathy points. Oh.
This brings me joy.
I will not throw you away.
Wait, you talk to a cat?
Wait, hang on. Let's go back for a second. I feel we just kind of glossed over a key bit of information here. This guy's desperate. They come sad, like, I wrote a poem.
Random flashback. Dream.
Yeah, seriously, she looks like Jem from Jem and the Holograms.
They'll never make it out words.
Is the harpy going to come back and she's going to get turned into, like, the singer from the Misfits?
Oh my god. Poor girl.
I know, like...
Poor unicorn.
And that's the thing. You don't feel like, oh, she's being a spoiled princess.
No.
Like, she's literally, like, uncomfortable in her own skin. Like, she's not supposed to be this way.
like a stalker log.
See, I don't mind like the music from like the band playing as like part of the soundtrack, but it seems a little strange now to have the characters singing just because they weren't doing that at all
And
before.
it's weird to hear Jeff Bridges sing.
But it's just weird because it wasn't consistent throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they started singing like in the third act. It's like, wait, what? You know what I mean? I always say like I'm not really a fan of like musicals, and that's one of the reasons.
I am, so.
Well, yeah, but that's one of the reasons why Disney movies have always been kind of like, here they go singing. But for better or for worse, it doesn't feel out of place because it's consistent. Like their films are set up that way, so I'm just like, I don't want music, but it's not because it feels out of place in their movies. It's just more or less my personal preference. Mm-hmm. Whereas this kind of feels like, well, the majority of the movie, they weren't singing. You just had like an accompanying musical track in the background.
Yeah.
But now that the characters suddenly break out in song, it's a little like, wait, what? Like, why?
I wonder how uncomfortable he was singing this.
Well, it just seems a little like, not to mention, the song is a little like laying out a little thick. It's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Maybe just
unless the singing was in the book, maybe. Or maybe he tried to like sing to her in the book.
I don't know. It might be. Again, music is one of those things where it's a bit of a slippery slope. And when because again, when you put something in a book, it's written down. You in your head just kind of imagine it to be whatever you need it to be to make it work. But when you have to make it literal, it's kind of a fine line. So it's almost like if these songs were in the book, I kind of feel like they should have maybe added some, actually, ironic enough, the guy who says he doesn't like singing in movies, added more songs throughout, so when you get to the official songs, they feel more natural and in place. Because right now, they just feel like, wait, why are we suddenly singing? I mean, it's fine, but I'm just saying, yeah, because we didn't see any of it prior, it just...
So the song is how they fell in love. So that's why they sang.
But here's my question. Would she be attracted to him as a man? Or when he got...
But I think it's because she's becoming more of a woman.
So her instinct has changed. Okay, because when she first changed, it was like...
what she was literally just singing about, so...
Yeah, okay, so it's like... At first, it was just the form that changed, and now it's becoming her mind.
She's literally forgetting who she used
to be.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering. Like, okay, so it's like... So it went from shape change to polymorph. So it went from being a shape change to polymorph.
Yeah.
Where you become...
The clock is terrifying.
Clock is awesome, and I want it! And I want some horrific sound to come out of it when the clock strikes like midnight or noon and just freak everyone out. A blood-curdling howl or something. Oh, jeez. Get a lot of strays there, buddy.
Yikes.
Jeez. Hands off, bud.
I know.
Whoa. You gotta say, though, the performances in this are really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christopher Lee, though, so, like, I mean, are we really,
Yeah.
like, shocked here that he's just hitting it perfect? Oh, what? Is he talking about the? Is he talking about the unicorns?
Yes.
So are they like legit living under the sea, like under the sea, or did he just like drown them? Is this like a really cryptic way of saying I got all those unicorns and fucking murdered them? Or is there like, you know? The Red Bull looks so metal.
I know.
Like, god damn, that is a Dio album cover that should have happened. So, well, I'm sure they'll explain it, and I'm sure you know, but I'm just like, again, it's so interesting having not seen this movie because I'm so used to watching these kinds of these films, especially again, a fantasy animated movie from the '80s. How did
Yeah.
I not see this? And it's good too. Like,
Yeah.
now I see why the Flight of Dragons is the more obscure one, and this is like the one everyone knows. I mean, I enjoy that movie. Don't get me wrong, but this is a lot better, I think.
Now he can see his reflection.
So yeah, basically, you see, like she's kind of losing the magic. Yeah, no, he's definitely got a Bill Murray meets Jeff Goldblum vibe going on here. Jesus. Skeleton's a real asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck you too, Skeleton. Will he give me wings? But I do. Seriously, this guy's an asshole. Look at him, Jesus Christ. God damn. Jesus Christ. That's funny. I don't know why, but I get a kick out of that. Seriously. This guy.
I know.
Just feels like this is Critical Role. This would be a great NPC for Matt Mercer to play. Oh, they found his weakness. He's an alcoholic. Oh, that's clever. That is clever. That's really, really clever. Seriously though, that clock is metal.
I know.
Clock is metal as shit. Jesus.
Someone's got a problem.
Give me the wine. Jesus Christ. It's sad though. Let's be real. It's sad.
Yeah.
He's got phantom alcoholic pains.
Yeah. Phantom bless you.
Oh, Jesus. So who was that guy before then? Did it say?
What guy?
The skeleton.
I don't know. It's just one of the things that he had down there.
It's where you get like a vertebrae on the inside of it.
Mm.
You know, I love these backgrounds, like the saturated colors. Everything is just like.
Yeah. He's having some fun.
Yeah. You know, it just blows me away how much better looking this movie is, even than their other films. Like, it's,
yeah.
it's the other ones were fine, but just aesthetically speaking, this movie is gorgeous to look at. Oh shit!
Oh,
That was a
there
nice
goes
clock.
your clock.
We're on the dungeon crawl part of our film now, folks. I'm still. I mean, again, I know you know, but I'm very curious to see how that's gonna look like. So, are they all just in the water? Like, well, So it's very interesting. Yeah, like her mind is becoming like that of a human, which
Yeah.
is it's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, even the harpy, she was like, we have to free her. Yeah, it's interesting because she's like saying, like, it's almost kind of showing like this would normally be the fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
I want to stay human and love you, but she's actually showing by doing that, she's showing like, yeah, well, human beings are inherently selfish. What we see as beautiful and a happy ending is actually cruel and wrong. She's forsaking the lives of her entire species basically for her own selfish happiness, whereas
Yeah.
again, it's just so interesting. I love that whole concept is like, you know, because when she was a wizard or a unicorn, she was selfless. She was truly selfless, and she was not putting her own personal desires over
Yeah.
anything else. But now that she's human, that's exactly what she's doing. She's like, but what about what I want? Not realizing like, well, it doesn't matter what you want when compared to a greater good. Funny, his face makes me think of Ganon a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially the way he was drawn in the 90s cartoon.
Yeah. Get up! But nobody help her up.
Yeah, nobody. The other thing looks so cool.
There you go. You want to fight monsters, right?
I know, right? There you go. Oh. It's that kind of spell. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. Let's just make the situation worse.
I know, right? But at least to say she can get away.
And realize, wait, what was I doing? What was I saying? I had a crush on who? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Even though I'd imagine it'd be the same way where it's the reverse. She's physically a unicorn again, but she still has the mind of a human. And the longer she would stay as a unicorn, the more she would revert back. Then why did you turn her back into a unicorn? Yeah, asshole.
Oh, that's my time. It's my time to shine.
He gets gored and dies. Oh.
Yeah.
I think he fared pretty well there.
He doesn't even have a sword, though. He just stood in the way.
Yeah, but the fact that he's not like mush is pretty impressive.
Yeah. It tramples him.
I know. They just walk right over him, like no fucks given. Now, will they explain what the Red Bull is?
I can't remember if
Besides
they
a
do or not.
really preemptive product placement. So I'm assuming it's like enchanted, right? Like they're kind of like one with the ocean, not like they're just literally just bobbing up and down, waiting for the tide to come in. Like just floating there going, well, guess this is us now, guys. They have like little floaties on, like,
Oh my God.
the king wishes it, so here we are. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of unicorns apparently.
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park with the guy behind us looking
Yeah.
over them. Big T-Rex comes out and eats it. Like, oh shit! Ends the same way.
My happiness. Yeah, there's a lot of unicorns apparently.
I'm just curious though, like, how did he get them in the sea? Like, what kind of magic was it? Like,
Well, it was apparently the Red Bull.
yeah, but like, what did he? So he basically just kind of like fused them with the sea, kind of thing. Kind of like they were like one with it.
Huh?
So they were kind of like one with the sea, right? Like he like fused them
I
with.
think so, yeah.
There was like a magic. He really, again, like I said, like all jokes aside, he really didn't just drive them into the water. Because at first, when the king first said all that, it made it sound really horrific. Like he drowned the fucking unicorns. Like he just drove them all in the water, where they just like they were going to go underwater and see all these skeletons everywhere.
She walks over, and then it turns out it's a random unicorn. Oh.
Oh. Don't do it, bud. It'd be weird.
We can tell.
I know. You were telling us how you would still have the hots for a horse. We kind of figured that out for ourselves, bro. God, those background. I know I keep saying I'm a broken record, but like it is so beautiful. Like the level of detail that went into this. Like I'm looking at all the background. I'm like none of it looks like it's just.
That's the thing. I don't know if you just saw that, but yeah. Basically, even though she reverted, now she's gonna be the only unicorn that knows love and regret. Remember before in the beginning she said she didn't know what that was.
Wasn't that kind of like polluting them then?
Yeah, no, they definitely corrupted her somewhat.
Well, that's the thing. That wouldn't be better than if she stayed a human then, because if that way she doesn't kind of pollute the unicorn race. I don't know. Or unless maybe it makes him more wise, then makes him more
possibly. But I think in a way that's also why she finally fought back, whereas the other unicorns always just would flee.
Because they never knew malice.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
This guy really fucking messed with her, actually. Then again, it's one of those things where you don't regret anything because you never had anything to regret. So she got a taste of a life that she otherwise would never have had. But the flip side is now she can't have it, and she knows that.
Yeah.
Away! Yes, back leaving the singing to the real musicians. Not Horse Lady and Jeff Bridges. No, this is a really good movie. Mm-hmm. I'm just more or less bummed that I never saw it growing up because, like, wow. I mean, visually speaking, like I said, I grew up watching Don Bluth movies, so I always loved that look. And I kind of feel like this is like an unofficial Don Bluth movie because it's dark, it's macabre, but it's very beautiful too. It's like, and I'm like, man, this is something as a kid I would have just eaten up. It's a beautiful film. No, I'm definitely happy that saw it. Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, this is a damn good movie.
Yeah, no. I'm alive. I'm alive.
POD comes in and does their version of this.
Oh.
I feel so alive. I like that song. I'm making fun of POD. Oh, I love that hue. That kind of magic hour kind of color.
That's the field we first saw her in.
Yep. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace!
Peace.